Think of the most terrifying thing that you could ever imagine. And then experience something that is a lot worse than that. I'm all too familiar with that sound. Very familiar. I heard it a couple of times from my mom, from my older brother, and a fair amount of times from myself. It is the most intense, terrifying scream that anybody can have the misfortune of hearing. Especially if it comes from yourself. When you encounter something that has to do with your fucked up family's dark past. Whatever they were into, it got passed on to us. In my mother's case, she was attacked in her bed. And this was back in the 1970s. I was like in first grade, 6 years old, before I moved out of the house that was supposedly haunted. Until later on I found out it was because of my grandmother and whoever else. But the thing is, my mom made that sound when something came and attacked her. And basically, I don't really want to go into too much detail because a lot of it has to do with sexual perversion, and I don't want to get into that right now. The worst part was that she saw whatever it was manifesting that attacked her. And I heard that from my older brother when he encountered what he would call an imaginary friend or imaginary playmate, which had the ability to morph or shapeshift into an evil, sinister-looking clown. And that's why he has clown phobias. And I found out later that what he saw, what he encountered that befriended him at first was known as a Bogart. with two G's, a Bogart. And this is from the fairy being world, like goblins, elves, and stuff like that. And it actually shapeshifted into that image. I remember the terror in his scream. I mean, fucked up is not even the word that I would describe. And in my case, it was something so horrifying that it actually just stood at the foot of my bed, grabbed me from my ankles, and violently pulled me off the bed. And as I was being pulled, it manifested. It was like about 7 feet tall. It was what anybody would call an alien being. I don't want to describe how it looked like or what it was right now at this time, because I did draw a picture of it, and I tried my best to make it look more realistic, but if I were to show it to you guys not right now, it will look too cartoonish. So I'm looking for a professional artist who could actually refine it or draw it in a way to make it look more realistic, like very professional. But until then, I can't show it to you because it looks too cartoonish, and people might just say like what the fuck is this, kind of thing. And I don't know, but I just don't want to tell you right now at this time. But it wasn't a gray, and it wasn't an insectoid. But I remember seeing it when I was a kid, and there was more than one of them. Part of me doesn't want to forget how this thing looks like. For some strange reason, I have this nagging intuition, or I don't know, something that tells me not to forget. Don't push that memory, or don't push that what you remember, the image of it, out of your head, and try to ignore it as a bad dream or whatever. Don't do that. And I've always went with it. I never dismissed it. I tried to find out as much as I could about it. Now, nightmarish ugly is what I would consider it. It is nightmarish ugly. And this is something, if you were to actually see it, especially in the whole scenario of a creature standing next to your bed and that kind of thing, I think that most people will probably have a fucking heart attack. They probably wouldn't be able to handle it. But they don't show up in any ufology literature anywhere. You could try looking for it, you're not going to find it. Now, the thing is, this is an experience, because I've been through everything with the whole encounters with goblins and elves, and of course that's terrifying too. But I'm kind of used to it already. Encountering this thing, which also attacked another family member. I can't say who it is, but another one that's very close to me. And he was pulled off the bed and pulled up, and he was dangling, like hanging upside down. And he was violently thrown around the room. And when he described it in great detail, it was the exact same thing that I saw. I saw it a couple of times as a kid, a couple of times during my teenage years, and a couple of times as an adult. Terrifying is not the word that I would use to describe that event. And believe me, this is something you do not, I repeat, you do not want to experience. It's just, way too fucked up. But even though these issues are not a problem anymore, it's long gone. It's not an issue anymore. But the thing that bothers me the most about this kind of thing is the information that I found out. I found out by name what these creatures are called. And they're not demons or anything like that. They're aliens, but they're a specific species, a class. Now, I can't necessarily say what it is. And I think I have a couple of family members that were secretly involved with these things. And I mentioned that already in a couple of videos in which what my uncle experienced when he was a little kid and things like that. So I wanted to share this with you because it is something that I just wanted to share it with you. That's all. And to let you know that it's a terror that you do not want to experience. And believe me, you will scream like in that example that I showed you earlier in this video. But except it's going to be more traumatic. Especially if you saw it for the first time. So hopefully, from what I understand, these things, this type rarely shows up. They rarely show themselves. It's usually other types that they usually shows up to do something to you. But these things only show up on occasion. But when they do, I would feel sorry for that person who was unfortunate enough to actually encounter these things. Oh, fuck. Anyways, I just wanted to tell you guys that. Hopefully in the future, if I find a professional artist who could actually draw this picture to make it more realistic instead of cartoonish like, excuse me, instead of cartoonish like, I'll do it. Maybe I'm taking a risk by doing this because of what my family on my mother's side was into. I don't know. But again, I want to let you know it's a very traumatic thing. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. questions or comments, you know what to do. And to all of you, take care.